Guys, my name is Tracy. I craft here at Country Charm by Tracy. I am so honored and blessed that you are here today. I am on my page, Country Charm by Tracy, where I love to share crafty ideas with a bit of rustic country charm. And just like today's projects, don't worry, once I get into the video, I will bend you or, zoom you down so that you can see my table. But I just wanted to welcome you all because I am so honored and blessed that you are all here today. I am on my segment for this week for Craft Around the Clock. So hello if you are watching there in the Craft Around the Clock group. If you don't know what that is a place where you can watch 24/7 crafting, either live or on the replay. I am so glad that you are all here. And guys, the one of the best ways, one of the easiest ways, one of the most, the freest way is to spread the charm. Spread the charm with someone who may like my style of crafting. It's just a free way to help us crafters is by S-H-A-R-E. We're not supposed to say that word for whatever reason. Hello, Penny. Hello, Tina. Hello, Kimberly and Annie. I am so glad that you are all here today because I have this idea that I'm going to share with y'all. And y'all know me, or if you don't know me, if you're new to my page, welcome. I do jam pack a lot of country goodness into my projects. And so if I have 45 minutes to do the craft on the clock, but if I don't finish, don't worry because I will share my finished project with all of you. That's what I tried to do only because I know, because I like to see, others, their finished project as well. Okay. So I am really loving orange and denim together this fall season. It is just kind of my go-to. Orange check and denim. I'm like obsessed with it. And so, I don't know. It's just kind of my thing of what I like to do. All right. So what I've decided or what I'm going to do today is make a country pumpkin patch. That's what I'm going to do today. And so I am so glad that you're all here. Hello, Susan and Brenda, Mary, Charlotte. Welcome to Sherry. Welcome so much. I am so glad that you're here. Yes, welcome to my craft room. Yes, Miss Susan Hicks says, I love seeing your supplies stacked around you. That's how mine are too. Yes, I have my table. Yes, everything is stacked around me, guys. I am a girl of convenience. I was an administrative assistant for many years for a state of Texas facility, and I worked with a psychologist at the time, and he said, you nest more than anyone I have ever seen, ever. And so I do. I'm a girl of convenience, and I like my stuff where I can find it. So hello. Yes, guys, I am so glad that you are all here. Now, I do use my Mevo camera. It's just a live streaming camera that I use, so I'm able to zoom you in and out. So that's what I'll be doing when, I'll just kind of zoom you in and out as I am going about my craft, okay? All right. Hello, Wilson. Hello, Donna. And hi, Gail and Michelle. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. And I see so many of my sweet friends are nesters as well. So, guys, all right. So first, what I want to show is I am going to be using a canvas, okay? Now, if I just want to encourage, I like to share ideas for others to do on their page or for craft shows for their home, whatever. If I'm putting it out here, feel free to do it. There are some sweet friends that do tag me and give me credit. And I so appreciate that. That is, you are people of integrity, but some don't, but that's okay, because we're in the World Wide Web. Anyway, so, but what I'm saying is if you make it your own, your own thing. I'm using a canvas because I have so many of these canvases left from when I was doing craft shows. My husband and I did craft shows for many years. And so what I would do is I would paint on them. I would paint cute designs and I would personalize them for homes and for like children's rooms. That's mainly what I would do. So I have a lot of these canvases left. So today's project, I didn't buy anything for it with the exception of the, this right here. I got this from my, guess. I'll give you one guess. My favorite store. Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. So it is just, you know what? I did not even measure what size canvas because I will have someone ask. This is a 20 by 10. A 20 by 10 canvas. And so, you know, if you like this, you can recreate it using foam board, cardboard, a canvas, anything that your little imagination, you know, can kind of come up with. Welcome everyone who is new. Gosh, we have so many new people. I do upload my videos to my YouTube channel, so I want to give a special shout out to my YouTube community and also my Facebook community and all of that good stuff. Okay, so what I'm doing is what I've done to prep a little bit is I have given it a coat of this Americana paint sable brown. It's just the brown that I've got off of my shelf. No particular reason. I just wanted a brown, so I just painted it so it would, you know, like in here and all of that kind of thing. Guys, I do go back later and read all the comments and answer any questions that I miss while I'm live because I don't multitask very well, like read and craft at the same time. Okay, so now I've done this before, but for those of you that haven't seen it, I like to make a frame on my canvas. So how I do that is using these giant craft sticks. I find these at Walmart. Walmart is the only place that I have found them. If you know of a place that has these giant craft sticks in your area, drop it in the comments because, hey, you don't know who you're going to inspire others. Okay, so what I did is I used my favorite technique of staining. I just gave it a coat of this antique wax. And I just use a baby wipe and I just give it the stained look color. And so that's what I did already. Then to give a little bit more definition, you guessed it, I use my vintage photo ink. You can get this at the craft store, Hobby Lobby. You can get it on Amazon. I just go around the edges and give it a little bit more depth and definition. That's just my look. I love the country look, all of that kind of thing. And so that's what I do. Hi, my sweet friend Erin and Blakely. Hello from Virginia. Hello, Miss Isabel and Miss Juanita. Thank y'all so much. I am in the great state of Texas in a little town called Brenham, and so I say it all of the time. We are famous for Bluebell ice cream. That is where Bluebell is located here in my home state, in my hometown. Okay, so what also I like to do is give a little bit of definition as far as like, I like a little character. So I cut these in half or just kind of, I want them not to be straight, okay? This is going to be the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sign for the top here. So I'm not quite as worried about it, but yeah, just in case I get off a little bit. So I just stain the craft sticks and then I'm just giving it a little bit of depth and dimension. I will glue everything down. And so then I have one more. I'm not going to worry about this because I'm going to be, that's where I'm going to put my pumpkins. That's going to be my pumpkin patch. But before I put this down, now this, usually these sticks do not crack. There was one, where'd it go? I had put it to the side. Usually these sticks do not crack, but I think it already had a crack in it. If I use my Tonic Tim Holtz scissors, these little bitty ones, or the short handle one, or the short blade ones, there was one of them that was cracked, but that's all right. Okay, so we're just going to make do. Maybe it's the one I cut. All right, so for the backdrop of my canvas, I'm just using this 8.5 by 11 board paper, slatted board, wood board from, you guessed it, Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just going to fit this in here, just like this. Fits perfect in there. So I'm just using 2 sheets of it. And it's always great when you can get these sheets half off. You know, Hobby Lobby has them half off every other week. And so there we go. Those fit perfect in there, just like that. Yeah, I guess Rhonda's asking, is it a reverse canvas project? I just had this canvas on hand, and yes, I guess you would say it's a reverse canvas project. That's right. Okay, so then now what I'm going to do is start gluing my frame on. Get the long sticks. I had to buy a small pack of the sticks, glue sticks, at Walmart, and those little ones are not good. I don't know. I've tried the technique where you like put a little dot of hot glue on it and it like guides it through, but for whatever reason it won't guide it through. It just gets hung up in there, and then I get frustrated. So it's one of those things that Trace, don't buy the glue sticks. Just order them off of Amazon if you cannot get the long glue sticks. So I know I tried that technique of just trying to put a dot of hot glue on it and it'll pull it through, but yeah, it's not working. So I'm just gonna put my little slats, I don't know, my little slats here. I don't know. I just like the different, where it looks kind of old, you know, where it's not perfect. My crafts are not perfect by no means. So I like just a little wonky, So this is where we're at the moment. So yes, this is a 20 by 10 canvas. And so we're making like a reverse canvas project. And for the frame, I just used some craft sticks, stained them with my antique wax, and then that's where we're at the moment. So I'm going to zoom you down so that you can see on my table. All right. So for my pumpkins, now I had already had this one done, and this was one of those pumpkins off of this garland that you can get from the Dollar Tree, you know, that has the footballs on it. And so I had already, for a previous project, I had already put some of this orange and white scrapbook paper on it. And then I did that technique where before I glued the Mod Podged the scrapbook paper on, I had taken my hot glue and made some ridges around the actual, like, let's see, this part right here. And then I just Mod Podged my paper on. And so I did and so then what I do is I just take my sanding sponge. Oh no, I didn't do it on this one because I didn't want to, because this is just puffy paint. I didn't want to sand that off. Anyway, but I will put, like, to give the ridges, I will like to make them a little bit more defined. I'll sand that off, and that looks really, really pretty. I have some other videos on my YouTube channel that I show how I do that. Anyway, but for this one, I just took some orange puffy paint and just, you know, just out the ridges, you know, just kind of drew those out. Okay. So then for my other pumpkins, I'm just using some from the Dollar Tree. And these, like, this is the new Crafter Square. Sorry, Crafter Square. These have more at the bottom, but these must be old from the Dollar Tree, like from previous years. Those are the ones that I'm using. They're a little bit more wavy. The ones that they have now are a little bit more curly. Anyway, so I just drew out some of orange and denim paper. Of course, from Hobby Lobby. And so that's what I did. I just drew out that. And then I used my Mod Podge. I'm using the heat transfer method. And that's what I did. I just used my little Cricut mini press. That's what I use to Mod Podge on. And so I had a comment or a question last week if someone said, what temperature do you put it on? I just put it on high. Just put it on high. Hello, my sweet nannies, Nook Crafts. Laying those down like a bricklaying girl. That's right. That's right. Okay. So then what I've done, I just Mod Podge those on with the heat transfer method. And so then now I'm just using that vintage photo ink just to give it a little bit of definition, because that's how I roll. Hello, Miss Nancy from Phoenix. Shelly's watching from Pennsylvania. Tammy Daniel asks, are you enjoying your new Hobby Lobby? Yes, girlfriend. I am enjoying my new Hobby Lobby. We got in my hometown of Brenham, Texas. We got one in the spring. So this is my first year to have fall and Christmas. And let me tell you, it is so convenient. Now, I didn't go too much during the summer when my son was out of school. I didn't go too much because I really wasn't I seem to shop more when I'm like for the seasons and stuff. And so I have been in there so much the last, I don't know, month or so. I jokingly went in there and said, y'all got to start paying me rent because I'm in here so much. They just laugh. They're like, no, welcome, welcome. I have the best sales associates at my Brenham Hobby Lobby. They are just so kind and just so helpful. And so I belong to a couple of Hobby Lobby groups on Facebook, and some people don't have that quite as good of experience. So that makes me sad. So I just added a little bit of distressing to that. And so then I'm just going to take my black Sharpie marker because I love to doodle. Just add a little bit to my projects. I appreciate y'all watching today. My craft and create sessions are when I craft a project with y'all in real time, and then I upload it to my YouTube channel for my friends that don't do Facebook, and vice versa, because then it's here on my Facebook page for my friends that don't do YouTube. So I just want to add a little bit here. Since I already have the orange on there, I don't want to add a little too much. Okay. All right. So I'm just taking some white paint. Ooh, that almost was a disaster. That almost just felt, not a disaster, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm just taking my little thin liner brush and also just giving some squiggles and some doodles, because that's what I love to do. And so I like to, as I'm doing my craft, I like to share some of the things that, because I do share a lot of videos. I share on YouTube a lot of pre-recorded videos, and have been on there for many years. And so I just kind of share some of the questions that I have gotten. And that is, where do you get a thin liner brush like this? They, you know, like it makes theirs too clumpy or whatever. So this little brush has been with me for many years, and it had lost some of the bristles, and it actually works great for me. So I would recommend, if you have a liner brush like out of a paint pack, or if you get it from wherever you buy paint brushes and stuff, take some of the bristles out. Just cut them out with, you know, some scissors. And then you'll have a little liner brush. You just want a few bristles. That's what you want, just a few bristles to get the thin lines. Yes, Miss Jerry says that doodling makes everything fun. That's right. It just really just makes, I just love it for my projects. It just makes me happy. I don't care if they're perfect. I really don't. I say that humbly. I say that not to be bragging or anything like that, but I don't care if it's perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. So then I know this is a little bit big, but what I'm going to do is, just take this ribbon or burlap came from Hobby Lobby. So I just am going to wrap these around. Let me find one that that's dry. And so I just kind of like to add just a little bit of like burlap around the stem of the pumpkin. And so I love this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. It's this I find in the wedding section, in the specialty ribbon section, kind of where the deco mesh and stuff is sold. That's where I find that one. So it's just a little bit wonky like me, a little bit whimsy. Thanks, Peggy. Peggy says she likes the color or loves the colors of the pumpkins. Thank you so much. All right. So that's what I just put some little burlap around my pumpkins. Okay. Now, so let's set these to the side. All right. So what I've done is, because I need something for my florals and stuff to stick into. So what I have here, guys, is I like, these are like my favorite because I can control them a little bit better. But these blocks from the Dollar Tree, I don't know, you may can get it other places too, but I just take my serrated knife and I cut the one block into 3 sections. And so then what I did is I painted, because I'm going to be putting the styrofoam down here, and I painted 2 sides of it, you know, one for each end, and then I painted the top and the front for the other ones, just because so that you wouldn't see the floral of the green. You know, the green, let me start over here. You know what? I'm going to get off. I need to lay them out first so that I don't get off, because I had done that to measure them, but then, you know, here I'm going just gluing it. Yep, see, I would have messed up. Pardon me, I know this is going to be loud. I'm going to try to be quiet. I don't know why. Crinkly paper, cellophane bags, all of that is so loud on videos. I don't know why that is. Okay. And it is okay if it sticks off a little. So this is going to be the bottom of, see, I would have glued that one upside down. This is going to be the bottom of my my pumpkin patch, my pumpkins. And then my floral, I like to, I'm not going to worry about this because I'm going to make a hanger out of it. And so then now I can glue these on. And I'll do them one by one only because, yeah, that's probably better. So again, like I said, I just love to share ideas, just share, you know, my country crafts. I retired from my day job of 32 and a half years last summer, or actually 2021 summer. I need to say that because since it's fall, July was, or August 1st was a year that I had had the privilege to retire from my job. And so then now this is what I do full time. And so I'm so grateful to the Lord because he's given me these gifts and talents to share. And so I'm so glad to, honored to be able to share these with you. Okay, so then now what I'm going to do is add some Excelsior. Now I buy this. I can find it at two places. I can find I like the fine Excelsior like this. I can find this in the floral section at Hobby Lobby, but I make sure that it's the very fine texture, or I can find it at Joann's. Now, I actually right now prefer the one from Hobby Lobby because it's a bigger bag and it's a little bit cheaper. I think it's like $4.99 or $5.99 versus the small bag at Joann's. And so then I just put it in this tub or this bucket right here, and then I kind of you know, spread it out so that I can work with it a little bit better. I just love Excelsior. It just really adds so much to my projects. So I am just going to add just a little bit of this on here. Go back and add a little bit more, but I'm going to add my florals and stuff and my pumpkins before I don't want to bulk it up. I just wanted to add a little bit to it. Okay. All right. So now I want to share with y'all, this is, one thing, and I'm not affiliated with Hobby Lobby. I guess I should be because I just advocate for them so much. But I had found this. It was on a garland, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty expensive. Okay, but I just like it. And so I guess it depends on how I'm going to use it. But look how wiry it looks. And so I got this just recently at Hobby Lobby. Guys, this one is $49.99. But of course I got it when it's 50% off. And I had only bought just a few things that day when I was in there. And when she rang it up $24.99. And I was like, and so then she laid it down, and I didn't even look at the price. It's my own fault, which I could have said, no, I don't want, no, I'm not going to take that, because it would, whoa, I was like, wow. Okay. So what I'm going to do is use part of this. Now I'm going to save these because I've been liking to use those for my little pumpkin tendrils. So what I'm going to do is start building my pumpkin patch. And actually I may want to cut this off a little bit more. Now I am on my segment of Craft Round the Clock. And if I don't get finished with this, no worries, because I will film the rest of it. And when I upload the video to YouTube, I will include all of that and make sure that I share everything with my Facebook friends as well. So I'm just cutting this off right here. And that's why I use this. That's why I like to use the styrofoam, so that I have something for my florals to stick into. And so when I thought about, you know, doing a little pumpkin patch, I thought about doing a little fence. I had pulled out a couple of different fences that I got from Hobby Lobby, but nah, they didn't look right. So we're just gonna go with it. So then I'm gonna start assembling my pumpkins on here. Okay. And I'm just making this for myself, but if you make this for, you know, someone that you're going to sell, or, you know, I would definitely use a little bit more than hot glue. Just using some of this Fabri-Tac glue. Glue all this down. Just like that. And then I will put all of my little pumpkins on there, okay? All right. So then now let me show y'all some of the other things that I got for my pumpkin patch. I got some of these pip berries. These are from Hobby Lobby, and these are on the garland too. Now, these used to be $9.99, but this year they're $12.99, but then I get 50% off. And I really think that that's what I was thinking, that this was going to be. So I was a little surprised when it rang up $24.99. But I'm just gonna use pieces of it. So, you know, it is what it is. So those are some things. I love my pip berries. So I'm gonna be using some of those in my pumpkin patch. And then I'm also going to, I pulled out some of this stuff as well. Some of these as well, some sunflowers. And these berries are from Dollar Tree, I think. I think these are from Dollar Tree. But I wanted to share with y'all. Okay, so these are one of my favorite sunflowers from Hobby Lobby during the fall season, okay? And so sometimes, you know, they come off just like that. Well, guess what? Look at the greenery. This is the greenery. Like, I had taken off all of these sunflowers, and I had, you know, I was going to throw this away, but I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this greenery. Like, you can't even buy greenery like that. You know, I may want to snip these a little bit shorter, you know, or, you know, but I'm just like, that is perfect little greenery. And then I think I'm going to use some of these. I always get the name wrong. Purple Billy Button Pick. I got these from Walmart, and I got these from the Dollar Tree. These have little greenery on it. And so, how cute. So just different greenery. I love texture. I love dimension, all of that stuff. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that. And then this eucalyptus, I think I'm going to pull off some of these and add it to my pumpkin patch as well. Okay. So that is the flowers that we're going to be adding, or that I'm going to be adding to my pumpkin patch. I like these berries from the Dollar Tree as well. Each year they seem to have some of the same, but then they also have some of the others too. Okay, so let me show you a little bit. For the greenery, I love this ribbon right here from Hobby Lobby, of course. This is in the specialty ribbon as well, kind of over there by the wedding, or the deco mesh and stuff. And so look at this greenery. I think I'm going to put some of these leaves around my pumpkins. And so this greenery garland is from Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and Dollar Tree is probably where I get the majority of my actual supplies. So that I'm going to be putting on those on my pumpkins to add the leaves. I thought that, well, I just pulled these out, some of these little wooden rose curls from the Dollar Tree. And then I just pulled out a lot of different things because I'm going to, you know, I got to make a bow. I got to make a rustic bow. So I have this, let's see, these ribbons came from Craft Outlet, craftoutlet.com. This came denim, and this one right here came from Hobby Lobby. And then this one right here came from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if I'm going to use that orange. I'm not sure. Okay. Then I wanted to share. I shared this. Let's see. I shared it on something. I had bought some cheesecloth from Walmart. It was white. And then I used Sweet Tracy Campbell's suggestion of how to coffee stain it. So I bought some instant coffee and made me up a little mixture. Then put my white cheesecloth in there and let it soak until I liked the color of it. And so then then I just laid out a dish towel on my cabinet, and then I let it dry. And so then I may be putting that in my bow. I also have some of these. Let me see. Oh, here they are. Some little green, not green. These are not green. These are brown. Grapevine. These little mini grapevine wreaths. You know, you can get them anywhere, craft store, you know, that kind of thing. So I thought I'd be using that for my bow. Then I have some of this burlap. I love this burlap from the Dollar Tree. I love these little strings. Look at that. I just love it. It just comes out. And then I use the strings in my rustic crafts. Anyway, I'm going to be using some of that. So then I have just some lace and some trim. That's what I'm going to be putting into my bow. And I'll be sharing all of that in the second part of it because, like I said, I wanted to get started on my segment of Craft Around the Clock with my pumpkin patch, but I knew that I was going to need longer than 45 minutes. I knew that I was because, yeah, that's how I roll. Because I jam pack a lot into my projects. And so I will most definitely share the finishing part of it. I'll put all of my pumpkins on my decor piece and my reverse canvas decor piece. And so, like I said, I just share to inspire others and to, if you do craft shows, if you do, want to decorate for your home, if you have special, use your imagination and make something like this for Christmas. Christmas is going to be coming up. And so we, to share our gifts and talent. I get emotional about it, guys. Sorry. To use our gifts and talents that the Lord has given to us is our gift back to Him. And I just love these platforms that I can share these gifts and talents with you. I know it's not much now, but I will, share everything. Also finishing pictures and all. Okay, guys, here is how I finished this decor piece. Now, those leaves that came from the sunflower bush from Hobby Lobby, I just snipped off a few sprigs of that and then just started layering it into that styrofoam. I also did use some E6000 as well as, that Gorilla Hot Glue and reinforced my styrofoam down on the board so that it would have a stronger hold. Okay, then now I'm just adding the second layer of my pip berries. Now these pip berries came off of a garland from Hobby Lobby. And then next we're going to add some sprigs of those berries from the Dollar Tree. Next, I will add my sunflowers, and as I always say, the beauty is in the details. I just love adding and just layering different projects like this. Now, that greenery garland that I got from Hobby Lobby, I'm just snipping off a few of those, and then I'll just tie them around each of the kind of like stems of the pumpkins so that they, look like the greenery. And I didn't put any pumpkin tendrils on it. I had thought about it, but actually then when I started doing it, I completely forgot. So that is something that I do like to do, is add some pumpkin tendrils. Anyway, so what I'm showing here is I decided that I want to add a little dimension for my pumpkins. And so I just kind of peeled back that Excelsior that I had on there because I need this foam. This is fun foam. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. And I layered that up and I'm gluing it down really good, sticking it to the styrofoam so that it, gives a very strong hold. Now I use Gorilla brand hot glue that I do like, and it does give me a good hold, but I just want to make sure that I have a good surface or, surface for my foam to stick to. And so then I'm just layering my pumpkins on and it just kind of, making them sideways a little bit, just so they're not quite up and down, just like what you would kind of see in a pumpkin patch. And then I take that Excelsior and kind of, push it in between the pumpkins. And then now that I have my pumpkins on, I take more Excelsior and then I'm getting my U pins. You can get these in the floral section at any craft store. And then I just stick the U pen in, the Excelsior because it just kind of holds everything in. I wanted to add some paint splattering, and I just do this by just dotting my black Sharpie marker. I should have done that before, but just by dotting, just my black Sharpie marker, it gives me the look of the paint splatter without getting paint on everything else. All right, so then now I just take more of those, just snips of those greenery garland, and then just my U pens, and then go in between so it kind of looks like vines of the pumpkins. That's kind of what I was going for. And just using the U pens just to, stick into that styrofoam. The styrofoam I like to add to my projects because it really adds as a buffer, and it just gives something for my embellishments to stick into. I used some of that greenery from the Dollar Tree, that kind of two-tone eucalyptus. And then I reworked the bow. Some of the ribbons that I thought I was going to use, I ended up not using, and I pulled out this polka dotted one, something that just went in line with my decor. And so I just cut these probably about, 6 inches, and then I dovetailed the ends of them, with the exception of the burlap. I don't dovetail that because it just wouldn't look good. And so then I also added some muslin fabric as well as some of that brown fabric, then just some laces and trims. I'm just crisscrossing them. I'm going to gather it together at a pipe cleaner and then twist it really, really tight. And then what I do is I snip off some of the excess, and then I use my electric staple gun to staple it to the frame at the top because, just to give it a good hold. Then I'm just adding a few sprigs of Excelsior and a couple of those wooden roses from the Dollar Tree. And those are just so pretty, guys. I am so in love with this. I just love it so much. This is how it's looking so far. Now I've decided I'm going to make a pumpkin patch sign. All right, so what I'm starting with is one of these boards from this wood pile pack. Now what I did is I cut it in half with my box blade, and then I thought I was just going to make a big one like this, but then I decided to go ahead and actually cut this one in half just with my scissors. Then I'm going to notch out the ends of it to make it look jagged, and then I'm going to paint my pumpkin patch sign. And I gave it a coat of buttermilk acrylic paint just to give it, kind of an off-white color. Then I'm going to hand letter pumpkin patch just with my number 2 flat paintbrush that I like to use. I have shared this before. A number 2 flat paintbrush is what I'm using for this. And what I like to do is kind of like air draw it out just to make sure that, I'm going to have enough room. This is just some tips that I have found over the time. So I appreciate so many friends loving my style of writing. And as always, you can find handwritten fonts in my link tree. I do have a list of dotted handwritten fonts that I have found from defont.com that you can download onto your computer. That way you can practice and, perfect your craft of what you want to hand letter and make your own cute little signs like this. So once I finish making my little happy dots, I'm taking the number 8 flat paintbrush out of my favorite paintbrush pack, and then just shading with some milk chocolate brown paint. My favorite way is to dip half of my brush in paint, the other half in clean water. I blend on a paper towel, and then I go around the edges as well as the letters just to give it some definition. And so then once that's all dry, then I will doodle around with my fine Sharpie marker, and then I'll go back and also go on the inside with my ultra fine Sharpie marker. On these, I'm actually doing the fine Sharpie marker as well as the ultra fine Sharpie marker. And then just to highlight my happy dots, I'm just taking my liner brush and just going in and making a little comma in the happy dots, just to make them pop just a little bit. And then also I will give it a coat, or actually do some paint splattering with my stencil brush and a stick. That is my preferred method of how I do it. I do make sure that my table is covered because paint splattering is a little bit messy. I need something for my pumpkin patch sign to stick to, so I pulled out one of those giant craft sticks. I had given it a coat of that antique wax just with a baby wipe. I just gave it, just some brown color, and then cut off the ends, and then at the bottom I just made a point so that it would stick into the styrofoam. And then I'm just going to glue all of these on, and this is how it turned out, guys. I love it so much. I appreciate y'all watching me on my lives, but I jam-pack so much into my projects, and throughout the project I kind of change my mind, or I think of something else that I have in my craft room I want to incorporate. And so I so appreciate y'all hanging out and for coming over and checking out the part 2 of how I finish this adorable pumpkin patch sign. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your continued support of my craftiness. God bless you, and we will see you in the next video.